we're gonna chat to you about your life as a musician again. How'd you get started?
I got into dance music in my early teens, and then got like a really basic setup very soon after that. And
Do you have any of that stuff
I
here?
have a mixer that I kept.
Baby mixer.
Yeah, it's about as basic as it gets. I found it up in the attic.
Who's it made by?
Gemini.
Gemini. I've never heard
And
of
it came with
like,
two
I'll be
like
honest.
belt turntables.
Alright, okay.
So they were run with a belt inside them as opposed to a motor. So
Was
as
that
you
the old
manipulated them,
technology?
They were just the cheapest.
Okay,
like,
okay.
You know what I mean? Like as basic as you can get.
Do you remember your first gig or your first?
I think it was in the pump house in
Oh, really?
town.
Oh, like so many of
I
us.
think so, yeah. And then went to college up in Dublin. Just kind of met other DJs up there, like recording engineering.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Where did you do that?
And Temple Bar, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, then went.
Right in the city centre.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Then just met other people on the course, and then local DJs and stuff.
Of course.
Started playing up there.
I wanted to talk about like your creative process. So how does that work for you? Like how do you get inspired? How do you create?
A lot of it is messing around till something
Okay.
sounds somewhat cool or kind of just takes off. And then just, the usual friends and family and other music and
chats.
other artists and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you find a lot of your ideas come from interactions with just other people, or?
I don't know, it's hard to pinpoint when like an idea comes into your head.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Because you kind of start learning and it's really hard to translate something in your head or something that you hear that you want.
When you just learn.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
drawing.
You're
able
not
to
you're not
actually-
fluent.
Yeah, get it out. So it's only really recently that like I'd actually go sit down with a solid idea and like
Okay.
get it out. Like,
Yeah,
but
it's
still a lot of
interesting though,
it is
isn't it?
just tinkering and messing. I have one track that's coming out actually that's not out yet. So
Yeah.
I can't like reference how well it would have done or anything.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
first time I've used my own voice on the track.
Nice.
But it's just vocals that I plagiarised, to be honest.
Sure. Yeah, well.
It's just something that was coming into my head, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. But
went
so
for
for
that.
you, it's all about
Yeah,
the
and
sounds,
then
really.
when I work with other vocalists, like they
Yeah.
write their own stuff, so I kind of
Nice one. Who have you collaborated with? Or?
I guess Marina Beanie's like the most frequent, and
Yeah, I
She'd
heard a
usually-
track you guys did. It sounded great.
she'd usually write it as we're sitting here, like developing
yeah.
the music. She could develop the vocals as we go, so kind of
Ad lib.
yeah.
It's
And
the
then
way to
a
go.
lot of just really long takes, and then just snipping out bits
Sure.
and stuff like.
So just kind of fitting it to the piece.
Yeah, exactly. It's more like a jam, kind of
Yeah. I like that.
yeah.
It's like, what does it need?
Yeah,
And you don't give it any.
yeah, exactly. The same when like there's other musicians, like or if someone that's like able to play whatever.
Yeah.
It's usually just mess around and record as much as you can. And
Okay, so would you sample instruments and things?
I have done
Yeah.
like I've done stuff with guitarists and bass
Nice.
players, and keyboard players.
It's all just more colours for your palette, really, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And it's it's just it's just fun like to hang
Yeah.
out with people.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
That's
totally.
kind of the you know what I mean. When something comes from it, it's more of a plus, really. I guess
For sure.
it's like no matter
There's-
what, you learn something from everything like you do with
And
someone
everyone,
else. Like,
yeah, totally. To be able to bounce your ideas off people can be super helpful as well. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Just getting a vibe going.
Yeah.
You look around, everyone's smiling. And
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah,
fuck
yeah.
This
It
is working. You're
lifts
on your
it.
own.
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
just like,
You're not
I don't know,
sure.
you're
Yeah,
very-
feedback
very
is like,
doubtful about stuff sometimes.
yeah, and you don't know then until you put it out. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes all it takes is someone behind you to go, I like that. You're like,
Yeah,
oh, sweet.
okay.
Fucking run with
Yeah,
that.
I'm gonna go with that, yeah,
yeah.
and then in terms of like actually getting stuff out there, how do you go about that?
I try and sign just with labels that I either play their music myself or
Okay.
that I've been fans of for years.
Okay, how
And
would
that
you
just
like,
comes
approach
down
that?
to just stalking them online and trying to find
Okay.
like, is there somewhere on their page that says like send a demo here?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then just send
Okay.
private files and just wait and see if they get played. And if if they get played and you don't get a response, move on. You know, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. So you're basically just kind of contact, like going for them directly.
Yeah. You kind of start high and work your way down, and then from each release, hopefully you can develop a relationship with the next label.
Have you had much success with the labels or with that approach? Or
yeah, like I've signed with like quite a few labels.
Really? See, the idea for me of signing with multiple labels is like, wow, because that's obviously works differently.
It's
rock music.
Hoping that like their fan base are people that you can convert to your fan base.
Sure.
In a sense, like, and just to take the strain off, like trying to do
it all yourself.
You know what I mean?
Because it's such a DIY landscape that we're in now.
There's very little money in that side of it. It's just about like kind of.
Yeah, like we were talking about that earlier on. It's like there's so little revenue in it, but you need to be constantly on it.
Yeah.
So you need to be doing it full time in order to have any success, but you can't afford to do it full time. Really.
Yeah, exactly.
Why is it so difficult to break through?
I guess just because there's so many people trying, really. Do you know what I mean? Like,
with electronic music in particular?
Yeah, it's like the software that's used to make it has just become like easier and easier to get.
Anyone can get it.
Yeah. Like look at like Skrillex won a fucking Grammy for making an album on a laptop with a pair of headphones, like in a squat house.
Yeah, right.
But what I mean is like there's so much people available like to them to be able to try.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that are good at making music as well. That's the other side of it. So
there's so much out there.
Yeah.
It seems like you have quite a lot of different elements as well. Like you're showing us some of your graphics there, and
yeah. Well, I guess just the kind of online presence of every part of like I guess music artists like it's become such a big thing now that
if you can offer a little bit more.
Yeah. And like when you don't fucking have the money to outsource everything.
Yeah, you just have to do it yourself. Yeah.
And like I've always loved fucking like. I get obsessive when I want to learn something new, you know, that kind of way. Like,
tends to be the way.
I'll just throw myself into it. You know what I mean? I won't be happy until I get the result that I either know I can or know that you can.
Yeah.
You know,
What would be like your proudest moments?
I guess proudest is signing music with Nick Hook. He's like an English DJ and producer. He's been going for a long time. And signed the track to his label Jeepers and got it remixed then by Martin Sharp, who's another producer who's been going years. I actually have like two of those. I have some of the records there that I've had since long before I started making music. Yeah,
like what are your plans at the moment? Do you have any releases coming up or?
I've 2 EPs. Well, 1 EP and 1 single.
Nice one.
Coming up. The EP is coming out in an Italian label based on Music Records.
Where can we hear
that? It probably won't be out for another. I'm not actually sure on the release date of that yet, so it could be like early 2020 to be honest.
Right, okay.
Like
in the next few weeks.
February, something like that, I'd say. Yeah.
Nice one. And where, like, what platform would that be available on? Or?
That'd be everywhere, like Spotify
and
Apple.
Okay.
And we're in discussion about getting a night going in Kilkenny again.
Oh, that would be
fantastic. And then we're in discussion about getting a night going parallel as well. So hopefully
I think both places need it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that kind of vibe, it can really lift the whole town.
Bums on seats, and if no one's coming and sitting down, like, that's the point.
Yeah, you got to get people out.
Yeah, and that's, when they're students and there's enough diversity of people, what they're into, like, for it to be something for everyone in a sense.
It sounds like you're doing a pretty good job with yourself right now.
Oh, thanks, man.
Nice one. Maybe you could, I don't know, show us some tunes to finish up, or?
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah.
Nice one. Nice chatting to you, man.
Thanks, man.